Year three, welcome back. We are going to continue our week on measurement. This time we are not going to be looking at mass or weight. We are going to be looking at volume and capacity. So let's go. Capacity is the amount of liquid a container can hold. So for example, I have here my measuring jug, and this can hold 1,000 milliliters or 1 liter. It also has some different measurements, but we're going to be looking at milliliters and liters. So that is how much capacity. We measure the capacity of anything which can hold something else. So this can hold any type of liquid. I have a little can here that's also holding some liquid. So it has a capacity of 50 milliliters. Then volume is how much space an object takes up. So that could be solids, liquids, and gases. So if you're blowing up a balloon, you are increasing the volume of the gas. Good? Lovely. So, like similar to what we looked at with mass, we have different types. So you can kind of see here, obviously, this has a less capacity, it holds less volume compared to this as well. So does every piece of equipment use the same measurement? Of course not. It does not use the same units of measurement. So like I said, we have milliliters, which is our ml. We have centiliters, cl. You have liters, and you have kiloliters. So I already showed you this one is 50 milliliters. This is 750 milliliters. I said this is 1,000, which is the same, and it says here 1,000 milliliters is the same as 1 liter. So it would take me 2 of these. If I poured water, it would take 2 of these to fill one of this up. And to show you liters, I actually have 2 liters. My 2 liter bottle, there it is. 2 liters of this. So it would take me, this is 1 liter, this is 2. It's half of that, isn't it? It would take me 2 of these to put in there. And I don't actually have anything in my house that is a kiloliter. Perhaps you do. At school, we definitely do. We are milliliter, centiliter, liters, and kiloliters. So milliliters, toothpaste, cough syrup, all these kind of liquids, quite a bit measures in milliliters actually, because they can still go up to 1,000. So even though this is 750 milliliters, whereas this is just 50, but we can still use it. Centiliters you do see not as often as milliliters, to be honest. We tend to have a lot more milliliters and centiliters around. And liters you'll see quite often with your milk, cartons, higher measurements, bottles like this, and then kiloliters we would use swimming pools, lakes, etc. So like I said, I don't have any in my house. All right, let's have a look. So this is an example of a 5 milliliter dropper, and here you can have 2 liters. So we said that this is a 5 milliliters, and it would take 1,000 milliliters actually to make even just half of this milk. So that would take a lot of these droppers, wouldn't it? I'm not going to do it, but here an example like we had. So my measuring, this is my exact same one. This is a liter, so my other one, and then we have this one. This is my 500 milliliters. So it would take 2 of these to make this one, and I have that in that diagram there. So just some conversion ideas. Now, very similar here, we're going to be talking about our intervals on our scale. So they said the scale on this measuring jug is measuring in milliliters. They're very important, just like we did with our mass. You need to be checking what is the unit of measure. So similar thing, between 0 and 500 milliliters, there are 10. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So very similar like we did with our scales, 500 divided by 10. is equal to 50. Well done. So between 100 milliliters and 500 milliliters, there are 10 intervals, and each one must be worth 50 because there are 10 50s in 500. So let's check. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500. So we know that the water is, we can even count down, so 500, 450, 400, 350. The water here is at 350 milliliters. Do not forget your units of measurement. All right, so let's look at this again. What is each interval worth here? What is the capacity of one of the containers? And what volume of liquid is in the part-filled container? And last but not least, what is the total volume of the liquid? So let's have a look here. Each interval, well, there are 5 of them here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, this is 1 liter, but we can pretend that it is milliliters or 1,000 milliliters. So 1,000 divided by 5. Again, I'm not expecting you to do your 5 times tables up to 1,000, but think about it. What do you recognize? Well, I know that my number 10 here, and I know that 5 goes into 10 twice. So that would be 2 and then 2 zeros, so my place value holder, so that would be 200. Use your place value during this to help you. So each interval is worth 200 milliliters. Let's check. 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. It is. What is the capacity of one of the containers? Well, it's 1 liter because that's how much it can hold. And remember, we talked about at the beginning, the capacity is the max amount of liquid it can hold. What volume is in the part filled? So we know that each interval is worth 200. We found that out because 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. So let's check. So that would be 200, 400, 600, 800. So it's between 800 and 1,000 milliliters. And I would say it's about halfway there. So 800, 900. And they're agreeing with me. So 900, not liters, milliliters. Well done. This one's a bit trickier because we're having to convert that. All right, then there we go, 900 milliliters. What would that be in centiliters? Can you figure it out? And what is the total volume of the liquid? Well, we have 2 of these that are full, so that would be 2 liters and then 900 milliliters. So here we're using mixed units, just like we did with length. So if we had 10 centimeters and 2 milliliters, millimeters, you're using 2 different units of measurement. So here we have 2 liters and 900 milliliters. So that's our mixed units. And there they are. So I have my liter and my milliliter. Rather than saying 2,900 milliliters, it is easier if we just convert those. So once we've hit the 1,000 mark, to get to a liter. Okay, so you can see that that's 1 liter, 2 liter, and the rest 900 milliliters. Okay. Oh, let's see who used more. So Verity and Joseph had been using jugs of water to fill a bowl. They kept a tally chart full of jugs that they have used. So you can see here that Verity has already used 5, 6, 7 liters. And then she still has this one. I also put this pot-filled jug into the bowl. Joseph has used, he hasn't used 1 liter. He's actually used a 2 liter one. 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So we're already, Verity has 7 here, 7 liters because she's using 1 liter measuring jug. Joseph is using a 2 liter measuring jug and he's already had 3, so 6 altogether, 6 liters, 7 liters, but they're not finished. Who has more? Let's see. Well, like we said, Verity put 7 full jugs of 1 liter. Joseph put 3 full jugs of 2 liters, but we need to look at the extras as well. Now, each interval here is going to be 250 milliliters because you can see that this is 1,000 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 250. Think about 100 divided by 4, your quarters. We know that's 25. Use your place value, so 250. 250, 500, 750. Same thing, 25, 50, 75, 100. Use those place value connections. So Verity has 7 liters and 750 milliliters. Let's see what Joseph said. Well, Joseph has 2 liters, so 2,000 milliliters divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2,000 divided by 10 is 200. So let's check. 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,600. Now, if we know that 1,600 milliliters is going to be the same as 1 liter, 600 milliliters. So he actually has, add that 1 liter to that 6 liters. So that's 7 liters and 600 milliliters. So we know that actually, even though Joseph was using a measuring jug with greater capacity, because this one could do 2 liters, he put less water in. Just barely, just by 150. Okay, now looking at the work that you need to do. So very similar here, the volume of the liquid. So how much water is in here? Well, has it already gotten to our liters? No, so we already know that's going to be 0. So here you're going to just have to figure out how many milliliters. Remember, and if you want to write it, that is actually saying 1,000. So count on your intervals to see how many there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1,000 divided by 10, what would be, how much is each one? You're going to write the answer there. Same thing here. Oh, here it has gotten to that liter point. So already I'm going to give you this one. It is 1 liter. Similar thing. Figure out how many milliliters in this second one. And the same here. Let's cut it off, but you have 500 milliliters plus another 500 milliliters. 500 plus 500. What is that? And then here you're going to have to count as well your intervals to figure out how many this is in this one. What's the volume of that? Similar here, the volume of the liquid in this container is about, now they've gone beyond it. Actually, it's right at the edge here. So what is, it's also the total capacity of this container. What have they gotten to? Look here, it's milliliters, and this is 250, 300, 350. So what's a little bit more than that? Figure out that. Similar here, the volume of the liquid. What approximately, what is that on? Worry about this line here. Last but not least, you're going to collect 5 different empty containers. Empty. Try not as well to see what their capacity is. So I might just grab things around me. If this was empty, grab them. Put them in order. What do you think? Estimate how much their capacity, what do you think it is? Do you think it's milliliters? Do you think it's liters? Then you're going to look to see what the actual capacity is. Remember, you can always look, normally they have it somewhere written on the bottle. So this one is 50 milliliters. And then you're going to difference, so subtract. So if I guess that it was 100 milliliters, 100 milliliters, take away 50 would be 50 milliliters. So that. You can already, put them in order as well if you'd like to, greater than, greatest to least, right? And that is all for this week. So enjoy, and I hope you have a clear understanding of volume, amount of liquid in this case that we talked about, and capacity, that total capacity of these different containers and objects, right? Have fun and enjoy. Bye-bye.